We have not seen any change for the better.
To a follow-up to an 8 on Your Side investigation that we've been reporting on since early last year. On this Veterans Day, we are following up on our reporting on mold issues for active duty service members in base housing at MacDill Air Force Base. Despite a visit by the Secretary of the Air Force and numerous public hearings, it appears the problem is still there. 8 on Your Side's Jeff Patterson joining us now live from outside MacDill with the latest. Jeff.
Good evening, Keith. I have been reporting on this issue for months, and sadly, it seems, despite our reporting, people here at MacDill still have major mold problems.
This is video Amy Norquist sent us of her child coughing after being exposed to severe mold in her home at MacDill Air Force Base.
Like, I would hear our two oldest coughing through the night in their beds.
After our stories about the mold issue first aired, the then Secretary of the Air Force visited the base. There were hearings on the issue in front of Congress and public hearings at MacDill. Promises were made to fix the problem.
A lot of stories are told that we're making change, we're doing something about it. Unfortunately, the only thing that I have seen and witnessed is that a lot of the military families have left the base.
Attorney Natalie Quam is representing a number of families who are suffering from health issues as a result of being exposed to mold in their base homes.
It's so sad. You know, these men and women serve our country, they protect our freedom, and they can't even go home.
Quam says service members have missed deployments because they're receiving medical treatment for pulmonary and respiratory issues.
It's time, especially on Veterans Day, to say, hey, how can we help?
Attorney Natalie Quam tells me that unfortunately, after one family moves out because they're having mold and health issues, they move out, the base repaints the house, and essentially a new family moves in and they repeat the cycle with more health problems. That's a problem, Keith, because they aren't fixing the underlying issues.
Well, and that raises the question, Jeff, is there anything that can be done to correct this mold issue?
Well, it's essentially not the base that's doing this. It's a private contractor that runs the base housing. Harbor Bay, they claim they are fixing the mold issues, but Natalie Quam is getting more clients with more health problems.
Jeff Patterson reporting live in Tampa. Thank you.
Life in paradise, hiding a dark secret. These apartments in Fort Myers look luxurious, but this disgusting black gunk is growing inside, and experts tell us this is mold.
And that's not all. Somebody showed us this sprouting up inside their apartment. That's a mushroom growing on the wall. Tenants there say it's making them sick.
We've had migraines, we've been nauseous, we've had problems with like cognitive functions. Our memories have been, just kind of scattered.
The Night Beat's John Carlos Estrada takes us inside.
It's just everywhere. You can't even get around it.
What they're doing here, honestly, makes me sick to my stomach.
Chantel Tallboys and Brandon Murray moved into the Laurel Apartments in November.
They couldn't acknowledge the fact that there was even a problem.
The problem, this.
Look at the mold right here in the drywall. It's in the drywall.
In their bathroom, kitchen, living room, AC unit.
People's well-beings are at risk here. People, are living in these places.
And they brought their issues to management like their lease says they're supposed to, but they say repairs are patchwork.
There's a lot of evidence of continuous patchwork rather than the proper remediation of the mold spores.
We spoke over the phone with Michael Brigandi, a mold expert, who says their test results show high levels of various mold, including toxic black mold.
My recommendation that a mold certified mold remediation company be called in to take care of these units to assure the health of the tenants.
But instead of that, the management company gave them an eviction notice.
Now we're kind of at a loss of what to do when we got our eviction notice.
In this notice, the company cites the couple as disruptive towards neighbors and maintenance workers and damaging the apartment, searching for black mold. But during our time at the complex, neighbors spoke to us about their own issues, like having to move out but still paying more than $1,000 in rent.
I've been actually living in Cape Coral at my girlfriend's mother's house because within 10 to 15 minutes you start hallucinating.
And one neighbor showing us a mushroom growing out of her kitchen cabinet. We did try to talk to the Laurel Apartments management in their office today.
Hello.
They referred us to this statement saying, in part, we respond promptly to any and all requests and are dedicated to resolving any issues. We have company policies and procedures in place to address and resolve any issue that may arise. But for those we spoke to say, that's not the reality.
We want to get out as soon as we can because we understand our health is at risk, but at the same time, we can't just turn our backs on everyone who lives here and just be okay with this.
John Carlos Estrada, Wink News Now.
Chantel, Brandon, and Jerome are seeking legal representation. All the units in Chantel and Brandon's building are having an inspection done this week, except for them. They have about a week to respond to their eviction notice.
Well, one of the nation's largest military housing companies put the health and safety of the military families at risk, even after pleading guilty to committing fraud against the United States. Those are the findings of a new bipartisan investigation by a Senate panel unveiled today on Capitol Hill.
The company in question, Balfour Beatty, operates numerous military housing developments here in Hampton Roads. Mike Gooding has the details.
Balfour Beatty Communities is one of the nation's largest providers of privatized military family housing, serving over 150,000 residents at more than 43,000 individual housing units in 26 states across the United States, including 9 locations here in Hampton Roads. A new report from the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations focuses specifically on the Army's Fort Gordon, Georgia, and Shepherd Air Force Base in Texas. The document alleges ongoing mistreatment of U.S. service members and their families and mismanagement, with numerous instances cited of mold, black mold, and water damage in service members' homes that reportedly was improperly repaired or outright ignored.
And the results of this investigation are alarming, are disturbing, reveal injustice.
An Army captain testified Tuesday that his daughter now suffers from a devastating skin condition because of mold in their Balfour Beatty managed home.
My daughter's experience is life-altering, and that it will haunt her as well as us for the rest of our lives.
Balfour Beatty Vice President Richard Taylor expressed substantial empathy for the captain's daughter, but said he is unaware of any recent improper practices by his company.
Deny the fact that the issues of mold just weren't addressed over a relatively long period of time?
I do deny that, yes, sir.
Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
Balfour Beatty pleaded guilty in federal court last December to defrauding the armed forces by falsifying housing repair records in order to receive higher awards between 2013 and 2019. The company paid $65 million in fines and restitution.
Jazz, several have reported getting sick due to the mold, and multiple families have been displaced. Now, Senator Inhofe and other leaders say they're taking steps to fix a problem that should have been taken care of.
But we found out that a lot of things that were supposed to be improved weren't.
The mold has affected several in these homes, some claiming it's caused health issues.
One of the contractors has been a problem for us is Balfour. This is something that is, they have made several visits, made commitments, but the commitments haven't really worked.
Balfour Beatty Management is in charge of housing. Inhofe giving them 90 days to come up with a comprehensive plan to fix all problems.
Not only here at Tinker, but across their entire project portfolio that include maintenance and management.
These pictures show just how bad the mold has been. We're told 13 out of 660 families have been displaced to hotels at no cost to them while work is being completed.
Tinker leadership and management will hold a resident-only town hall on Thursday. Reporting live in Midwest City, Portia Riley, KOCO 5 News.